The mind does not measure value by outcome. It measures by what was endured to reach it. When the cost rises, the story must change to match, or the person is left standing in front of an empty ledger with nothing to show for the damage. This begins early. A child learns that effort is praised more than ease. The praise attaches to the struggle itself rather than the result. Over time, the pattern hardens into a rule. Anything obtained without visible cost begins to feel suspect or shallow. The person starts to distrust their own preferences if those preferences arrived too cleanly. In practice, the mechanism appears in the decision to stay. Someone remains in a relationship long after affection has turned into mutual erosion. Each year added makes departure harder because the accumulated humiliation now requires an explanation. Leaving would mean the previous years were not investment but error. The mind prefers to call the damage proof of commitment instead. The same movement occurs in work. A person spends years acquiring credentials or status in a field that no longer fits. They continue because the time already spent cannot be returned. New evidence that the path leads nowhere is treated as temporary. The longer the mismatch continues, the more elaborate the justification becomes. Eventually, the justification replaces the original goal. Beliefs follow the same rule. Once a person has publicly defended a position or suffered for it, the cost of revision rises. Each new contradiction is absorbed rather than examined. The belief grows stronger, not because it explains reality better, but because the alternative would require admitting the earlier cost was unnecessary. This is why arguments rarely shift people who have already paid. The real cost is not the original suffering. It is the refusal to update. The person becomes a curator of their own past rather than an observer of their present. Opportunities that require admitting prior waste are declined. Self-knowledge narrows to whatever preserves the earlier narrative. Even direct awareness rarely breaks the pattern. A person can name the mechanism and still feel the pull to justify the next sunk cost. The recognition arrives as an observation about other people first. Only later does it touch the current decision, and by then the investment has usually grown again. You are already selecting which past choice you will protect from this description. That selection is the pattern continuing in real time. I am draven. The pattern continues. It always does. Follow. The patterns do not stop here.